Good morning and welcome to the most recent edition of the Bearded Tyke. I'm joined by Ant again. Thanks for joining me again, pal.
Morning, Ryan. How are we? All right.
Yeah, I'm good, mate. Well, I'm a lot better this morning, pal, after seeing a win. It's nice.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I've been doing these reviews and previews now for it's probably about 6 weeks now. We've got quite a few shows in. We've done quite a few together. We're just saying off air there. It's nice to talk about a win for a change.
Yeah.
Um, Unfortunately, I missed the Leyton Orient game because my son had a 2 o'clock kickoff on that day in Leeds, so I was unable to make the game. And I didn't really watch enough of it to be able to be able to do an honest review on it. So this is the first win that we've done a review on the channel since the 5-0 win against Luton.
Yeah.
So it's like I almost don't know where to place myself, Paul. I've been so used to talking about there being slight disappointments and things like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm chuffed to bits because we so needed that 3 points yesterday.
Yeah.
Massive win.
Yeah. Absolutely huge. Yeah, I hadn't seen him. I was away for the Leyton Orient game as well. I was on holiday, so I didn't see that one. So I hadn't seen us win for ages either. It was so nice. Great scenes at end yesterday, and
Yeah,
unexpected. I think. I mean, as we'll talk about the game as we go along. But a lot of people didn't see that winner come in. A lot of people went home around me because I thought it was petering out to a 1-1 or even lose the game. But no, great scenes at the end and much needed,
brilliant.
especially to follow up the performance against Liverpool. We needed something like that to keep it going, and that were really good scenes at the end.
Yeah, really good. I think it's probably best scenes I've seen at Oakwell this season. I know we got the late winner against Burton, but I think this meant just so much more. Just
Yeah,
because we really needed it, and obviously and we'll get onto this in a minute because of the lineup, and we were threadbare. It's probably fair to say.
yeah,
I think the lads really dug in and showed some real spirit to get the game at the end, to get the win at the end. Sorry, so we'll come to the lineup then. That um, because it was an interesting one. Just walking down Regent Street, get the
Mm.
ping, pull out my phone, and then I see right where I what's, and I looked at it, and I was looking down, and I went, "That's a bit of a strange one. Hang on, where's DKD?
Yeah,
Hang on, where's DKD?" And then he was missing, and then that horrible sinking feeling when it was like, "Oh no, why is he
yeah,
missing from the squad in the middle of January?"
yeah.
Um, I mean, we'll talk about the DKD thing in a minute, Matt. And but what was your overall thoughts about the lineup?
I didn't see much wrong with it other than the DKD omission. I mean, I kind of expected Kelly to come back in because, yes, okay, Jurgen Eden had a great game against Liverpool. He really did have a great game, and I think that went under the radar a bit how well he actually did play
Yeah,
on Monday.
agreed.
But we needed the drive from midfield. Obviously, Blackpool were going to sit like that for quite some time in a 5-back, and we needed that extra drive from midfield, I think, to open them up. So it didn't surprise me that
Yeah,
Kelly was in. A little surprised that O'Connell started, but he's definitely good to go because that was a good 90 from O'Connell. We might talk about him more in a bit, but I thought he was very solid. Um, and yeah, other than the actual sheer panic when DKD wasn't announced, I was quite happy with it. Like you, when teams are announced, it's always the same, and I don't know why, but our routine's always the same. And I was driving up Pontefract Road, so my lad gets them up on Twitter, team news, and I would guess it line up, and I went DKD up front. He went, nope. I went, oh, what? Are you kidding? Because obviously it's January, and we all put two and two
yeah,
together. But I mean, the club did come out and put a post saying that he was actually ill. I mean, they wouldn't have done that,
yeah.
would they, without him actually being ill? I don't know.
I think it's
I don't know.
very foolish of them if they're lying, and
Yeah,
because as we know at the moment, the relationship between the club, or should we say the board and the fans, is, should we say, fractured? I won't
a
say it's
little bit.
completely
Yeah,
broken, but there's definitely an element of mistrust, and there's definitely fractures in that relationship, I would say. So for them to come out, if they were to come out and lie, and he because he's not in the squad because he's going, I think it would be incredibly foolhardy of them, mate. I really do. I think it'd be
yeah,
really silly of them. If he's gonna go and he's not in the squad, just don't say anything. Just let
yeah.
the
I
fans
mean,
put two and two together and get four. But if they've put it, I'm gonna put my trust in what they're saying because both Doug O'Kane and the club reported on it. So if
Yeah.
Doug's reporting on it, and he's obviously a very respected journalist, I'd go as far to say that that's true. So that's where I'm hanging my hat, mate.
Well, me and you, we both know that if anything wasn't right, it would come out. There's a lot of people talk behind the scenes about Barnsley here, there, and everywhere. And if it wasn't true about him being ill, I'm pretty sure it would come out pretty quickly. So
Yeah,
I'm going to take it as face value that he was ill. That doesn't mean to say he's not going anywhere because obviously he's a very in demand player.
yeah.
Um, Obviously, the Middlesbrough rumour isn't going away, which is the one that I think we all look at and think, wouldn't be surprised. Um, we coped all right without him, to be fair, until
Yeah,
we ran out of legs,
yeah.
which we visibly ran out of legs in that game. Um, but I think Keeler Dunn, as wonderful as a finisher he is replaceable in this team. I think if we could get 2-3 million for him, invest 2/3 of that into two or three other strikers, I think it'd benefit our team. Which I don't like saying because I love the kid. I think he's done nothing but wear that shirt with respect and honour. He's captained the side. You know, he's come up with some fantastic goals and some important goals in his time here. But you've got to look at the bigger picture sometimes, I think, and which one would I rather lose, him or Cleary? And I think I'd rather lose DKD, if I'm honest.
Um, yeah, I tend to agree. I mean, I think obviously it'd be a massive miss, and I love the kid. I think he's brilliant. I just think his attitude, everything about him, he's such a good professional. He seems to be, I've never met him, but he seems to be such a good lad. Very respectful of the club. He's not, he just gets on with he gets on with the task in hand, and he does it incredibly well. But players move on from clubs. Players do move on from clubs, but we'll see. I'll be honest with you. I'd much rather keep him. Um,
Yeah.
but if we get the decent, the club are holding out, then they've turned down multiple advances from different clubs, so they're obviously not. They've obviously got a fee in mind, and until that fee gets hit, he ain't going anywhere. And if the fee does get hit, then obviously, whether the club will or not, but we do need to reinvest that into getting more. If that helps us get two or three more in, and funnily enough, it's something that myself and Dan discussed on the Thursday club, with the finances at the club.
Mm,
We seem to be lacking in the transfer market, or lack of funds in the transfer market because we haven't sold any players for a while.
no, we haven't.
It's that negative impact of keeping all of your best players, but then not even not any making any profit in the transfer market to reinvest. So it's sort of a double edged sword, isn't it? But yeah, but anyway, hopefully. What they've said about DKD is correct, and he is ill, and he'll be back for the Reading game. But overall, for me, mate, with the squad, like you said, looking at the 11, it was good to see Corey O'Keefe back in there. I thought he was excellent again yesterday, mate. Getting
Yeah,
stuck in there,
super.
he played really, really well again yesterday. Really pleased to see Owen O'Connell in there. Again, I thought he was really solid. I think he made a little bit of a mishap in the first half when he sort of misjudged the part of the ball, but then Owen
Yeah,
Goodman's made an excellent save
yeah.
at his near post, not getting the beat at his near post like Murphy
Hmm.
Cooper was. Not big, but he did get beat at his near post a few times.
He did. He did.
Owen
Yeah.
Goodman said made a fantastic save there. So, but what concern me, and listen, I know it is because it's a bit of a short term pain for long term gain. Is we've had to get rid of those players, and we'll discuss the January transfer window after the game. But it left us a little bit threadbare, and there wasn't, shall we say, there wasn't much on the bench to change it. It was very imbalanced. The players on the bench, but Connor had available what he had available. And we had to try and make do as best we can. And for me, I thought the game, there was quite a bit of frustration at times. Right? You sit in the pond as well, don't you, Ant?
I do, mate. Yeah, just to left.
Yeah.
Quite high up.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I thought there was a little bit of frustration in the crowd because it was quite slow, and I think there were a couple elements to that. For me, I thought it was the way that Blackpool set up, like you say, with the back five. They were very rigid. They were slowing the game up. They've obviously seen the game plan of other teams coming to Oakwell and frustrating us, where they're just going to a low block and trying to hit on a counter or try and pick up a set piece goal. Um, so you could see the way they'd set the stall out, but also for me, I don't know if what you think about this, Ant, but for me, I think it was quite. If this is to be the case, it's just my opinion, of course, but because of the Liverpool game on Monday and the amount of effort that went into that, and the lack of options on the bench, Um, and the fact that we've conceded quite late on quite a few times when the lads have got tired, it were almost like an energy conserving performance to make sure that they're not putting themselves under too much pressure. So for me, the sort of that game management part of the game, especially when we got the goal, the first goal, I thought was excellent. I thought, although it wasn't a great watch, the game management there and reserve, reserving energy was excellent. I thought if that be the case, I think that's an excellent tactic.
Yeah, I fully agree with that. I think the opponent helped us a lot with that. They were quite happy to sit. We were quite happy to have the ball. I think if they'd have come at us like they did from 70 minutes onwards from the beginning, I think they'd have won easily, if I'm honest, because it got to a point where the lads were just they were just gone. You could visibly see across the pitch, other than O'Keefe, I think everybody were knackered, completely and utterly
Yeah,
knackered. And I said to me, "Lad, legs have gone." And I kept looking at bench thinking, what is coming on to help that?
exactly.
Obviously, we had to sub Bland off at half time because he was definitely going to get sent off. That referee gave him a
Yeah.
strong look for that second one. And I think as soon as he
Oof.
did that, Jorgen were warming up. So we
Yeah.
lost Bland as well. Um, but yeah, it were a concern. You knew for a fact because they've got Ennis on the bench, they've got some other options on bench, they were going to come right at us. Um, and I'll be honest, when they equalised, I thought second were coming. It really were coming.
Me
I
too.
could see there were
Me
no
too, mate.
legs. He took Cleary off. Cleary were done. He took Cleary off. I'm thinking Kelly looked done. I thought who's going to drive forward towards back end, and luckily Superman Kelly pulled that run out his ass basically, which was
Yeah.
unbelievable to do that in 93rd
Unbelievable, mate.
minute. I mean, he were carrying knock as well first half because he got a thundering tackle in first half just before half time. And I don't think you were right, but to have that motivation and drive to get up that pitch for Didzy at the end were just unbelievable. But
Yeah,
I felt
fantastic,
like
mate.
there were more unity in team yesterday. Connor mentioned it in his interview. I don't know if that's the influence of O'Connell or just having a keeper that's not panicking. I mean, could that keeper be any different to Murphy Cooper? Let's be honest. He's so
Yeah.
laid back. He's so relaxed. He's a big unit. He came for everything. Okay, you fumbled a couple, but nothing bad happened. Some great saves, as you said, near post. And I said for weeks, Murphy Cooper's not the keeper, wrong keeper at the wrong time. This one looks more like what we need. He's a calm
Yeah.
head. I remember in Duff season we had Isted and he was very calm as well. He's just settled everyone down, knew how to time waste, knew how to stop the game. Uh, Never felt in danger, particularly with him. And I think Goodman was saying yesterday, I did even put that 20-minute period aside when we were knackered. I didn't feel in danger at all yesterday.
You
It
know,
was very,
yeah.
yeah, go on, mate.
Sorry, Anne. Yeah, I thought we controlled the game really well. Like I said, I
Yeah,
just thought we managed the pace of the game really well. We held, we had a high amount of possession up to that point. We'd had about 70-30, I think, up to that point.
yeah,
It ended up being 58-42, I think, by the end of the game.
yeah,
Um, but I thought we'd managed it really well. I thought we managed it really well. To be honest with you, Anne, it were easy.
yeah,
Blackpool weren't causing as much trouble. They were just, for whatever reason, even at a goal down, they were sat in that low block. Because
yeah,
I said to the lad next to me, I said, I think it's great that, when a team comes and gets a low block, it's so important we get that first goal because we can start to pull them out of that low block then, because
yeah.
they've got to go and get in the game. But they were quite comfortable just sat in it for some reason. I don't know if they were so confident that they were going to go and get an equaliser, which they obviously eventually did. But it was, yeah, it was a tough watch at time. But I just want to get back to to Owen Goodman, because a
Yeah,
lot was made when he came in. We've got a lot of negative comments from Huddersfield fans about him not being good enough and blah 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 blah. And I said I'd reserve judgment until I saw him. Now, listen, it's one game, so I'm not going to get giddy. But I thought he was excellent yesterday. I thought,
yeah.
what's all the fuss about? He's an absolute unit, isn't he? He's a big lad
He's a big boy.
and he fills that
Yeah,
goal. Like he looks so different in that goal. It looks massive,
yeah,
and he made a great save from when O'Connell made the mistake, and that got the Blackpool lad has got it in, pulled it back. Striker's probably taken one touch too many. They should have hit that first time, but luckily for us, he's taken a touch, and Goodman's guessed the right way and made a good save. Um, and then the one, sorry, because I mixed it up earlier on. That the shot at the near post wasn't when O'Connell messed it up. But anyway, regardless, he's made a good save there, and then he's made a really good save at his near post. Good strike. The lads hit it first time. and he's tipped it round the post. I think with the fumbles, I think a lot of it's when he's going up and he's probably been fouled. To be fair, he's jumping into a crowd, and the one where he fumbled it, but I think he actually picked up the foul from that. But everything else we were really comfortable with. And if you look at the match stats, it looks like, Blackpool have had a lot more of the attacking, and it was certainly towards the back end of the game where they've had more shots than us and they've had 5 on target. We've only had 2 on target and scored 2.
Yeah.
But they've had 5 on target. But I have to say, a lot of theirs was straight down the middle. It was just headers, straight down the middle. They did make him make a couple of saves in the first half, but the rest of it was just straight down his neck. So although it looks like their shots on target are quite high, a bit higher, they didn't trouble him at all. And ironically, of all the saves that he made and all the chances that they sort of created for themselves, the goal came from a heavy deflection.
Yeah, it were unlucky, weren't he? He just completely wrong-footed him. That goal
Yeah.
could have been completely avoided, couldn't it? From start to finish. Cleary keep it
Yeah.
ball in, Ogbetter not alert enough, and then the deflection. Unfortunate, but that's just the way we defend this year. We don't have a lot of luck, as well as being structurally poor. We've not had any luck like that with clean sheets at all. But definitely more positive for the future, I think, with that back line and that goalkeeper.
Yeah.
I'm a lot happier now than what I was 3-4 days ago. You've got to remember Owen Goodman. Kind of wanted him last summer. I
Yeah.
think Huddersfield offered a little bit more wage wise, which is why he didn't come here, and we ended up with Murphy. But he's wanted him. Last season he got 25 clean sheets in League Two. That is
He
no
really
mean
did.
feat in that league, because it's a tough league, as this one is. There's a keeper there, and he's a good keeper, and I'm happy with that. And if there's a chance to sign, if he has a good run and there's a chance to sign him in the summer, all good, all good. I'm really happy with that. And moving forward, it looks like a structure I can get behind, definitely.
Yeah. So I think for me, the overall performance was it weren't one for the ages, was it? The game,
No,
it weren't one for the neutrals to watch.
no.
But the result was the most important. We were on a bit of a threadbare team. Although the starting 11 was pretty decent, to be fair, it was pretty decent. I'm really happy I'm so happy to see that back four with a left back, a right back in the right positions, 2 good centre halves. It
Yeah,
just makes such a difference. It makes you feel so much more confident than the square peg round hole that we've been doing for the probably last 2 months, 6 weeks,
yeah,
2 months prior to that. So
yeah.
it was great to see, and I thought as a defensive unit we managed it really well. But going on to the winning goal, and it's been a while since I've seen a moment like that at Oakwell.
Yeah, that was
I
goosebump stuff.
yeah, my daughter came with me yesterday. She don't come to the games that often, but she came. She brought her boyfriend Sam, who he's massively into his football. Unfortunately, he's a Man United fan.
Yeah, my
What can you do?
eldest, he
I'll
happy.
turn him round, mate. Don't you worry. I'll turn him round.
Yeah, yeah,
This time, yeah. But he came to the game yesterday, and obviously he got to witness that. And I said, "Don't." We were on the way out. I said, "If you come in the games, don't expect that to happen every game." But wow, what a moment! Because like you say, Ant, it was petering out to we're going to lose this game, or it's going to
yeah,
be a 1-1 draw. And it was looking like
yeah,
we're coming away disappointed again. Um, and then from nowhere, they pushed forward. They pushed forward on a long throw on the edge of our area. He's put a long throw in. They've pushed far too many up, and then we've got the break. And what a run by Patrick Kelly! Unbelievable, absolutely knackered. Like you said, Ant, carrying that knock, and then he's turned a couple of them inside out. He's so good with his feet, that lad. He's
yeah,
so good with his feet, getting out of tight spaces. But he's made the break. He's held on perfectly. Um, Held on to it for just long enough, fed it into Didzy, and then Didzy. Well, I mean, that's why Didzy is what he is. He is 38. He has lost a yard of pace,
yeah,
but all them years of experience in that moment at the right time to do a step over, flick it to the left to create the angle and drill it with his weak foot into the bottom corner.
yeah.
It's just outrageous. It's just outrageous. And that moment there was unbelievable. I battered my legs, I battered my shins, I've smashed my calf against seats.
Yeah,
I've lost me. I shouted so loud of it, all my vocal cords. It was just a fantastic moment. And
yeah, it were unbelievable. I mean, never mind that second goal. The first goal, I mean, you could say it's a mistake from keeper, but it's very alert from him. He's worked out the press. He's worked out how to pass the ball and getting the eyes a little bit. And unfortunately, pick up foul for him has given it straight to him. And that's not an easy finish from there. He's got to bend it round the
No,
keeper. So superb. He never stopped. I mean, obviously we got to that 70-minute period, and I thought every player's legs were gone apart from O'Keefe. So I'm thinking, we're not going to get up the pitch here. It's not going to happen for us today. It's probably going to end up being a loss last minute. I could feel it. And then, like you say, Kelly, he were running on empty, absolute empty, to get up there like that. And I'm saying pass it to Phillips because Phillips were actually clean through on the right. So I thought he'd gotten wrong way. And then Didzy just opens his legs up, gives him that little step over, completely does him, and what a finish into corner. And like I said, these little moments you get. I mean, I got the biggest hug off my lad yesterday when that rolled in. It was fantastic, and I'll not forget that for a long time. And it reminded
yeah,
me, we played in Duff season, we played somebody, and Robbie Cundy scored late with an header off a corner. Anyway, exactly the
Fleetwood.
same vibe. We had 10 men, and we scored last minute, and it was the same vibe, and everybody seemed to just pull together. There were a
Yeah.
massive vibe in stadium. It felt like something had changed. So I really hope that's staying going forward. But I mean, we've talked about Didzy, haven't we? Having no legs. We've criticised him a little bit on here, but you can't say that anymore, can you? Because that was
No, not
something.
really, mate.
You can't say it.
I think
He
he's
just
not
kept.
being used as much. I mean, if you think, I don't think he's being used as much as maybe he should have been. When he's been coming on for 5 minutes and 7 minutes and 10 minutes here and there, how much can he actually influence the game in that time? And I get it when we've got DKD as well. But if you think back to early in the season when we were playing really well and when we were winning games and we looked like we were going on a promotion charge early doors, Didzy were in the starting 11 every week. Whether there's any coalition that uh, I'm not so sure, but he was excellent yesterday. Like you said, that first finish really really clever, so
Yeah,
clever. He's not tried to smash it. He's not hacked at it. He's not panicked. He's just put it to the keeper's left, so there's no
yeah,
way he can get to it with plenty of bend on it. And he's just, and the goal's empty, so he doesn't need to smash it. He just needs to get it past him with a bit of bend on it and drops it in. That's experience. That's experience. So
yeah, exactly.
overall, mate, absolutely buzzing for the win yesterday. Let's kick on. I think obviously we need a win against Reading because we've got a really tough away game at Cardiff on the following Tuesday.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's hope we kick on.
Just
So,
last thing
oh,
on
sorry,
Dizzy,
mate.
mate.
Go on.
Before I move on, I just hope the club don't think that that's going to patch over what we need up front and think that he can play
Oh,
every
of
game.
course. Yeah.
If they think that, then they're completely misguided because obviously we have got Tuesday, Saturday games now for the next 3 months after this one, after the weekend. So that's not viable. It's okay. And I agree with you. I don't think he's a sub. I think he needs to be on the field from the start, influencing games. He's not an impact sub, did he? He needs to
Yeah.
feel into the game and get into it. Um, but that's just papering over cracks with the striker situation big time. We need at least two or three in. So I
Oh,
just
absolutely,
don't
mate.
think it's. I don't think that's the solution.
No, 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 definitely not. And I think listening to Connor, he knows it's not the solution as well. I
Good.
think I'm confident we're gonna get more bodies in.
Well,
Hopefully, we've got
I hope
some coming in this.
Flatman and Crine do because that's who signing checks end of the day, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, mate, absolutely. Um, so moving on to that, then, that segues us nicely into since we last spoke. There's been quite a few movements um, within the club. We've seen a couple more go out, and we've seen now two come in since Owen Connell. So we touched on the DKD thing earlier. There's a strong there's a fair to strong chance that he could go to a championship side during the window. I just hope we don't leave it while the last minute. I hope we don't leave it while right the last second. We need if he's going to go and the offers are coming in, then as sad as it will be, then let's get the right money in, let's get him gone, and let's get him replaced. If that be the case, me personally, I'd much rather see Davis still in a red shirt come end of January. Um, so we've covered that off. Like the Owen Goodman thing, I'm really happy with that, mate. I think it was the right move for me. I think Murphy Cooper has. I'm not going to say Murphy Cooper's been poor, but he hasn't been great. He's probably my assessment. I know that you've never been a fan of him, mate.
No.
But I just think with the Murphy Cooper thing, if you're going to be paying championship wages, which it's rumoured that he was on a high wage, a much higher wage than what we'd normally pay, but he's obviously with him being a loan keeper, he's coming in and we're paying that extra for him. You've got to get the return on that.
Yeah.
And for me, he's an excellent shot stopper. I thought it was really good. His one-to-ones as an ex-keeper myself, his one-to-one stuff is really good. It's quite unique how he comes out and really spreads himself. I really like that. I think, there's a lot, my son's a keeper, there's a lot he could learn from that as well. That sort of style where he comes out and makes himself so big. And his speed that he came out at as well to really close the striker down and hurry him up. But it's the other bits, mate, that was poor. So overall, it was kind of, I don't want to be harsh on the kid, but it was kind of average. And when you've got a certain amount wages to spend and you need to improve the squad, it kind of makes sense then that you say, right, okay, well, let's get Goodman in, who's on less wages, and then we can reuse that, redistribute those wages elsewhere into
Yeah.
onto strengthening the squad up top.
This is it, isn't it? Obviously, I've heard he's on about half the money that Cooper's on, Goodman. So
Yeah, that's what I've
it
heard as
makes
well.
sense. It makes sense. And like
Yeah.
this League One, a lot of teams go direct. There's a big striker, they go direct. Murphy Cooper's not the person to combat that, especially from set pieces. I mean, yesterday I didn't feel particularly endangered from set pieces because we have a big guy in goal who can come out and
Mm,
claim. And yeah, okay, like I said, he did flop a couple of times, but there were a lot of fouling and jostling in that box.
mm,
Um, and I just think in a game like that, Cooper would have been absolutely swamped. So
yeah.
wrong keeper, wrong time, Cooper. I hope right keeper, right time, Goodman. That's fingers crossed because that's a good start.
Yeah, really good start, mate. Yeah, really good start. Um, we've seen Kasper Lopatar go back out on loan.
Again, uh,
Right move again. Right move. Yeah,
he's not going to
I just
play.
think he's seen out.
He's not going to play here, is he? Right? It's like, what's the point of keeping him now? I mean, surely we're getting close to release time for him now. How much he got left on
Yeah,
his contract? Do we think?
I don't know, mate. I think we've tried to. I think we've tried to sell him. I think we just try and let him go on a free for me.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
it's a shame for
And
Casper
it's a
because
shame. It's a shame for Casper because I'll be honest with you. When he came to us, when he were with us, when he started and he was starting regular, I thought he were all right. I thought he were
well,
pretty decent, and then he got, I thought he played. Were he as good as the previous three when we've been spoilt rotten with Mads, Bobby Thomas, and Cage at the back season
probably.
before? No, he wasn't. But he were pretty solid. I thought for a young lad that's coming in from non-league, I thought he were pretty decent. And he got that shoulder injury, and he's just
Well, I think
barely featured since then, mate.
if you remember, then first, I think he played 6, 7 games. I've done that 6, 7 thing again. Stop me. Right. He did play the first half a dozen games, right? And he got man of match
Yeah,
in most of them games. And I were glazing him on Twitter and getting all kinds of stick for glazing him. And then we never saw him again, which was a shame. But he was never quick enough. He
yeah,
can't play in a four, so it's absolutely pointless him even trying to be here because he's
yeah,
just not quick enough. But he would have headed a brick for you. He was one of them. He were a bit of a nutcase. I saw him at
yeah. I
workshop
liked him.
I saw him at workshop in a friendly first game he played, and he was like a brick wall. I mean, I know it works up,
Yeah,
but you thought, oh, this guy's got a bit of potential. But it's just not
yeah. I
worked
liked
out
him,
for
mate.
him. And the sooner we get him off wage bill, the better. You know, it's a waste of time. He's got to go now.
Yeah. And then we've seen. I can't remember if we discussed this or not. Mate, Neil Farrugia has gone out. As in, Neil Farrugia has gone out on to Dundee United on a permanent. I think that's the right move for both the club and the player.
Yeah, I think last time we spoke, you were on the verge of going. I think that announcement came out that night after we did the
Yeah.
video. Um,
Yes, that's right, mate.
uh, great move to get rid of him. Brilliant, you know, because he don't offer anything. I don't even think was he. I think he was an unused sub for Dundee United yesterday. So, and that were against somebody like Air United in Cup or whatever.
Right.
He's not. Who's he going to play in this team? I mean, we'll talk about him in a minute, but I think we've signed a prospect who's way more dynamic than what he ever was on the right side. So, no, best to get rid of him. And he was on quite a bit of wage actually, Ryan. So, you know,
Yeah. Oh,
it
yeah.
frees up a lot of wages. I think he were on at least 3 a week. So,
Yeah. It frees up a bit of brass on it, so that's really
yeah,
good. So coming
I'm
on
all
to
for
that, then.
this. Yeah, go on, mate.
Yeah, coming on this. Obviously, last but absolutely not least
Yeah,
is We have our new signing. Unfortunately, he signed just after 12 o'clock. He did his medical and etc. just after 12 o'clock on Friday, so he was unable to be in the match day squad yesterday. But I think we're going to see him straight away in the match day squad. Charlie Lennon, from 19-year-old right winger from Middlesbrough. Um, I'm really excited about this, mate. I'm really excited about seeing. No, he's a left winger. Sorry, I apologise. He's a left winger. I think he's been covered, but I think he might. I think we might have to utilise him down on both wings, depending on who gets
Yeah,
tired first, Cleary or Cody O'Keefe.
yeah,
But I think he looks a really exciting prospect. Definitely a Barnsley signing. Young lad with plenty of potential coming in on a long-term deal, 3.5-year deal with an extra year in the club's favour, if we want it. So basically, like a 4.5-year deal. I'm all for it. And what's your thoughts on the Charlie Lennon signing?
yeah. This is a signing now that we have to make. It's young players who we can polish up and move on. People are saying, "Well, who is he? Who is he?" But people said that about Reyes Cleary last summer. So you've got to,
Absolutely.
you've got to take it as face value. From what I've seen on YouTube, and I mean anybody can look good on YouTube. He can play either side. More on left, I think, cutting in. So obviously, I really hope it's not a Cleary replacement and just somebody who can relieve him for 10, 15 minutes at end of game. But he looks a really hot prospect. Middlesbrough fans are quite upset that he's gone. Darlington fans absolutely loved him where he's been on loan. He's got, I think, is
Yeah,
it 8 assists and 3 goals in 19 games?
yeah,
Um, he's going to come straight into that squad because, as you saw yesterday, we've got no options really to get up the pitch late in games. I'm excited to see him play.
me too.
I think he's going to be good. He's got pace. He's got work rate. In his halftime interview, he thinks he's like Adam Hamel, which is, no pressure, lad. That's the player who he wants to emulate. So no pressure on him. But I'm really excited
Not
to see
many
him.
better, not many better Barnsley players to emulate, mate. If I'm being
Well,
honest,
he could have gone a bit
if
lower.
you're gonna use Adam Hamill as your role model, I think that's a perfect role model to use.
Well, I think he wants to be as good as him. So I think you might want to start a little bit lower on your levels. But
Yeah,
I like that though because he shows he's got confidence and he wants to get
well,
going. Everybody likes a Geordie. They're usually quite an infectious character, and
yeah.
well, he's not a Geordie. He's more like a Macklemore from
Middlesbrough,
Middlesbrough. But
yes. I was about to correct you there, mate. I'll be careful with
yeah,
that.
whatever that is up there, northeast. But he looks an infectious character, and I think that he'll bring that energy to the team that we certainly haven't got from the bench. And he's going to get minutes because we've got so many games. He's going to get minutes. So all good from me. We need more to supplement him and give him something to
Yeah.
pass to up front. But yeah, all good.
Yeah, me too, mate. Really, really excited about it. I think the same noise that I've heard online is the same noise that I heard, and ironically from the same people. Um, when Reyes Cleary signed, and it was like, "Who's this? He's only ever played non-league." Blah blah blah. And now they're all glazing him. So you know what I mean. You,
Yeah,
you
but
don't mean that every single signing is going to work out like that, but trust the process because it's
yeah, I
worked
mean,
out really well with the Kelly signings, with the Cleary signings this season, where these players are sort of coming from nowhere and not very well known, and then all of a sudden they're straight into the first teamers and fan favourites. So let's give the lad an opportunity. I think he's going to be really exciting. Yes, he was playing at Darlington. You're right, but I think if you read into what the Darlington fans are saying, way, way, way above that level.
yeah, it sounds
So
like it, yeah.
I think he's going to slot. I think he's going to slot in really nicely, pal.
I mean, we could sign McAtee, Alfie May, and Daryl DK again on loan, and people will complain. So everybody's going to
Yeah,
complain. It doesn't matter who we sign. We've got to take it as face value and get behind him because people thought
yeah,
Goodman were going to be terrible yesterday, and he was good. You know,
yeah.
let's see what this kid's got. I'm all for it.
You need to reserve judgment on players. I always say keep your powder dry because you don't know what happens. They're all professional footballers. The level that players have to get to as young lads to be able to become a professional. I think if I remember rightly, it's about 1 in 1,000 grassroots players get to become professional players.
Yeah,
So these guys are very incredible footballers. For that they are, and you just see sometimes you go to a club and it just doesn't work out. It might be the manager, it might be the formation, it might be they don't get on with the teammates. So there's lots and lots of things that could be going in the background that make the fact that this player wasn't particularly good at this club and they were excellent elsewhere. There's a lot of factors that go on just as well as pure football skill as well and ability. And I think that it just works out at some clubs and it doesn't at others. So, like I say, I always reserve judgment. A lot of people said that how many Plymouth fans said that Ogbetter were no good.
yeah,
Turns up and plays for us, and he's a really solid player. He's a really solid left back. So I'm like, reserve judgment until you start seeing him in a red shirt. That's what I say.
exactly, mate, exactly.
So. Right. So, thanks everyone for joining us, and really appreciate your time getting up early on a Sunday morning again to jump on with me, pal.
Yeah, I'm always up early, mate. Don't worry me. Yeah.
I think it's an age thing, mate. I can't sleep in past 8 o'clock. But anyway, there you go. Yeah, so thanks everyone for joining us. If please like, share, and subscribe. Comment down below what you thought of the performance yesterday and what you think of the new incomings and the outgoings this week. I'm going to be doing a Reading preview later on in the week, but until then, I'll see you after.